and when defending.
I think it's like.
Are we live? We should be live. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. As usual, I'm very appreciative of the support you guys give me. Before all of that, people, please do me a favor and hit the like button. Before you actually do that, as usual, I hope everyone's doing well and safe. It's the halfway point of the week, which means it's Wednesday again. Fix on thinking cap. Hopefully Arsenal are that switched on tomorrow. But as I was saying, it's Wednesday, it's the halfway point. Hope you're all having a solid week. Hope you're all moving that much closer to your goals, hopes, dreams and aspirations, overcoming hardship and things. As usual, you can't do any of that without health. So as usual, wishing you and your loved ones continued health spiritually, financially, mentally, and most importantly, physically, and all of that good stuff, people. So yeah, appreciate you lot for joining me again. Please make sure you hit the like button. Obviously, it's another jam-packed day of content in a jam-packed week of content. We're here at 11:30 till whenever we clock off. I'm going to be live at 5:30 with Flawless. That's going to be on Twitch. We're going to have a Man United Arsenal preview. I'm going to be back over on YouTube, people. I'm sure it's at 7:45. Obviously, it's Everton versus Liverpool. You know, obviously, Rafa Benitez' head's going to be on a stick if he loses that game. Liverpool are running riot. I know, unpopular opinion, the Merseyside derby is probably the worst derby in the league, or one of the worst derbies. It's extremely overrated. Nonetheless, I think it is going to be a good game, and I'd love for you lot all to join me there, people. So yeah, I've set it up. All you need to do is set your reminders. No one's even hit the like on it, people. Even if you can't be there, like you lot did last time, you lot drove the engagement, thus making my neutral streams get more views, thus messing around with the YouTube algorithm, which ultimately grows the DG Nation. So without you lot, it's a myth. Obviously, throughout the course of this video, we're going to speak about what's emerged last night with Gabriel and the attempted robbery or the robbers or whatever. We're going to preview Man United versus Arsenal. We're going to look at Mikel Arteta's press conference. And obviously, we've been linked once again with Kulusevski. So there's a lot of things to speak about, people. So yeah, as you know, I like to ease my way into it. There's no rush, you know, really and truly. But as I said, people, make sure you're hitting the like button. You've got to be shameless with promotion in this world. If you don't promote yourself, no one else is, people. And on that topic, as usual, you know, it's tomorrow. Again, an hour before kickoff, I'll be live. You know, big up to me for hitting the like button. Man United versus Arsenal. It's watch along business where that game's concerned. Make sure you hit the like button there, people. And obviously, you've got Everton versus Liverpool for the neutrals today. So make sure you're there. As I said, also make sure you're following on Twitch and you're hitting the like button. You're listening to, what's this? Well, my soccer mix, big up Barbados and that, but that's actually irrelevant, people. So yeah, it is what it is. What it is. DG, you see, Nketiah turned down the new contract Arsenal just offered him. Is that another one today? Is that emerging news, or is that already what we knew in that regards? Where did you find that? Is that something that's come out today? Because that's big up to you lot if you lot have updated me. Eddie, is this how you're moving? Okay, all right, Pack. Love to you for updating me on that. Blood. Well, it is where it is. It is where it is with Eddie, you know. First things first, you know, that's probably flipped everything on its head. Let's start actually with Eddie Nketiah. Let me put Eddie Nketiah turns down Arsenal contract. All right, cool. You know, we'll get into that in a sec, man. Let me wait for you lot to filter in. Again, the news is coming thick and fast. Pack, big up yourself. And, you know, not just you, but this is why I love doing these live streams, because I'll obviously find a couple topics to speak about, and there's obviously self-explanatory ones, but then there's little bits and pieces. Obviously, because I'm live with you, I'm unaware, and I see that was 29 minutes ago. What was I doing 29 minutes ago? I probably just dropped out of the shower, to be fair with you, after being up for how long. So I appreciate that. And with that, you know, I think we can change the title, man. Nketiah. No, I always misspell Nketiah's name, bro. What's going on? Let me make sure it's all right, man, because I hate to get this shit wrong. If you spell someone's name wrong, it means you don't rate them, in my opinion. Nketiah turns down Arsenal contract. What do you mean, man? Come on. There we have it. Big up to you for that plug there. Yeah, I'm gonna offer my opinions on that in a second, man. Let me see what you lot are generally saying before we get into the bulk and nuts and bolts of things. People, hit the like button if you haven't, Prince. And I see you already in the Everton Liverpool one as well. I appreciate that, my guy. Bring up all the members, moderators, and subscribers. 2-3 footy chats again. You know, you're always here, man. Part of the furniture. Raz as well. Come on, Omar. Joe as well. Again, even if you're not and you're here for the first time, don't feel any sort of way, man. Whether you're part of the greatest community, TM's here. It's lovely to have the regulars. Man said, I'm from Sweden, so I would love Kulusevski. I got nothing to do with Sweden, apart from IKEA, my guy. But I would love Kulusevski as well. He's an Arsenal player. He's someone we've wanted since he was 16 years of age. Lovely left foot, very cultured individual, you know. Don't think he scores enough or assists enough. Don't think it's necessarily the game changer for Arsenal, but I think he's got a lot of potential and he ties into what we've got. And I like him a lot as a footballer, so he can come to the club, man. Great stream yesterday, DG. Back again for my daily dose of DG. South London's finest. I appreciate you. Everyone who was locked into the live stream yesterday. Actually, it's always a good one, but I feel in particular, anyways, for me, it was a good day yesterday in particular. I feel the YouTube stream went very well. Shout out to Aaron and Statman Baines over there on Twitch. We previewed Arsenal United. You can actually go on Twitch and review and re-watch the rerun. I will upload it today. I think I've got a video where, or again, another rerun where I'm talking about the Ballon d'Or. So I think maybe I'll schedule it for 2, maybe 3-ish. So that's me, Statman Baines, and Aaron. Big up to them. You know, obviously they don't know how to pick good football clubs, but they're good guys. I picked their brains for, you know, talking points relation to Man United and our game tomorrow. The Twitch stream at 10 a.m. Well, it was just me. I think that was good. Football Manager was good. So yeah, there was 4 streams if I can remember correctly. 3-4 streams yesterday. And I think they all worked very well. They're all very good, man. And again, without you lot, that's something that can't be said. So I appreciate you lot. Mace, morning right back at you, man. He thinks he is better than he is. Eddie is big-headed. I think that's a bit harsh. I do agree somewhat in that. I don't think he's big-headed, but I just feel a lot of these young players, there's been a luxury in that. I've seen better, you know, if there was better, you know, there's been better Arsenal young players, no disrespect to them, but there's been better Arsenal young players who, through circumstances, have never found themselves in a situation where there's a bag of young players in and around the first team that could get chances. Whether you take your chances down to you, there's been better players. And I just feel we've been a bit cozy. Typically, Reece Nelson, Joe Willock, Nketiah, you know, I understand how they've wanted to always break into Arsenal's first team and things, but it's led to probably complacency, and they've always been part of the squad, but not quite part of the squad. And I think, is it any coincidence Reece Nelson's playing catch-up, Joe Willock's playing catch-up, Eddie Nketiah, despite being a lethal gunman in front of goal, can never be described as that in Premier League football or the senior game, really and truly. So it does. But I can't begrudge him, you know, because why do Arsenal want it? In fact, let's start with the Eddie Nketiah, Kulusevski, all of that sort of stuff, people. Why would Eddie Nketiah? I can't blame him. If I was the advisors, I'm saying fuck a new deal. Pardon my language at Arsenal. Why are they giving that to you? You know, because they don't want to let money go. They see you as a commodity. They see you as nothing more than a spare part. From the club's perspective, I select that. I respect it. You know, that's what we should be doing. Too little, too late. Whether you rate Eddie Nketiah or not, the man's early 20s. He's got potential to be sold on for a profit. You should have never got into a situation where in the last 6 months you're trying to get him a deal, which last summer was probably the pivotal summer to get a fee. We're hopeful that something happens in January. So if I'm Eddie Nketiah's advisors, I'm not signing a new deal. Yeah, they might, you know, the romantic fans might say, you know what, Aubameyang's gone off to AFCON, plus he's not informed. Balogun might go on loan. You know, Martinelli's not got an opportunity through the middle. It's just Lacazette. Something happens to Lacazette, touch wood, God forbid. Eddie gets a chance. He shows Arteta what he's on. Arteta does like him and he plays. I wouldn't. How many times has he played Premier League football this season? How many times has he made the bench? He made the bench against Watford off the back of the cup, if I remember correctly. He didn't do anything. You know, Eddie, minutes are currency. You need to go out and be outside your comfort zone. If everybody's fit and Arteta's job's on the line and there's a gun to his head, he's not playing you. And that's respectfully, I wouldn't do the same. You know, you're not going to get you. Minutes are currency. A lot of people said Eddie's Tammy or Brewster. No, he's not, because them two, well, Tammy's gone away as several good loan spells and whatnot. Brewster at least went to Swansea. When Eddie went to Leeds, nothing happened. You know, I'm sure he learned a lot. I actually feel he came back a better player, more stronger. And I feel in the last 18 months, he's becoming a bit, 18 is an exaggeration. In the last couple of months, his general play is improving, as shown against Leeds in the cup, but it's too little, too late. You know, our academy, not everyone's going to be going off and doing first team with Smith Rowe and Saka. Certain people need to make money. And I always say, if we're going to be self-financing, these are the situations. Other clubs get 20 million minimum for Eddie Nketiah, you know. And I know when you look at Kiddo, Taylor Hart, Balogun, probably Saka at the time, Smith Rowe, we've run a lot of contracts down to the wire, ultimately got them done. But this is the territory we need to move away. You know, as I said, if our academy, the first things first, players for our first team. If not, people need to be sold. You know, I would love Patino, Aziz, John Jules, all these guys to get opportunities and make it in the first team. But if they don't, this club needs to look after themselves and ensure they're getting money, especially when we're meant to be self-financing and we ain't got the you know, the purse strings that other clubs have. So I wouldn't begrudge. You know, and even to be fair, Eddie Nketiah's got the same agent as Balogun. Again, unless Arsenal have promised you a mad thing, I'd be looking at my agent funny if he made me sign a new deal despite my younger client, really. So it'd be interesting. You know, there is a luxury where Eddie could get opportunities from now to the end of the season. Realistically, it's probably best to sell him. You're not going to sell Nketiah and Lacazette. It's probably best to just sell Nketiah if you can. You know, not going to get what you probably could have got in the summer. We did accept the fee before personal terms saw things broken down. If I'm Eddie Nketiah, honest to God, I'm in no rush. You know, I might be in a rush to play first team football in January, but in terms of making a decision on my long-term future where he needs to go somewhere where he can settle down for 18 months, 2 years plus, I probably wouldn't sign and deal. The longer my contract runs out, Arsenal are already in a losing pace. I make myself a more perspective attraction to clubs. You know, a bunch of German clubs, they ain't even going to care about Eddie. They're just going to see young English player, contract running down, boom. You know, he can obviously move for free to English clubs, but we've offered him a contract, so there will be compensation. I don't know if we'll get a healthy compensation package or a sell-on. You look at cases of Solanke, cases of Harvey Elliott, and many other things. You know, Harvey Elliott, if I haven't said that already, you know, or that even Danny Ings. It all depends when it goes down to that tribunal. And I'd imagine someone that's progressed for our academy, made X amount of appearances, won an FA Cup, and played Premier League football, we should get a decent fee. I say decent, it's not going to be what it should be. You know, I think Crystal Palace would have been a good one for him, and I'm sure a couple of clubs are looking at situations that can be done. You know, you saw Balogun score a hat-trick the other day against Derby at 23's level, and every week he's bagging it up. There needs to be decisions made. Now, the problem is with January, with AFCON, you probably have to hold on to one of Balogun or Eddie, and the selfishness, that's from the club because we need bodies. If I'm Eddie, fuck what's going on with Arsenal, I'm leaving. If I'm Balogun, I hear it. I might get opportunities. F all of that. I need to go somewhere now where I'm playing because, you know, you might use me for a month and then when these men return from AFCON, I'm out of it again. So it'll be interesting to see exactly, specifically what is going to happen with the strikers. And even if Eddie wants to sign a new deal, the club are clearly looking. You lot all going to, everyone that's already at Arsenal is going to be bumped down the pecking order. Why? Because we tried to sign a striker in January. I mean, last summer, you know, and probably will try in January. Centre mids should be the priority, you know. So everyone's going to get bumped down the priority. So again, even for Eddie, does it necessarily make sense to commit to a new deal? Does it make sense? Again, you're nothing more than collateral at this club. We're just seen as an asset that could potentially appreciate and maybe quote unquote make money, people. So I don't know. It is what it is in that regards. But yeah, we'll get into the articles. Give me a second, people. YouTube is notifying me to something. Let me just change up the thing. Hell. Sorry, folks. Get back there. What's YouTube on about? So yeah, it don't really make sense for Eddie to sign a new deal. And again, you know, a month before the deadline, this is what happens when you're not proactive. This is what you this and again, we just have to learn from this, people. Again, I say learn from it. We're gonna be in this situation again. Sadly, but it is what it is. But yeah, man. Anyways, getting back into this, big up you lot. Make sure you're hitting the like button and them things there. Getting back into this Eddie and Nketiah stuff. Where is, you know, let's look at some information in relation to Eddie, people. You know, obviously. Well, sorry, people, the screen hasn't shared. Sorry, folks. As you lot can see here, Eddie and Nketiah Eddie Nketiah, Arsenal striker, turns down club's latest offer. The 22-year-old's current deal expires at the end of the season and will be free to sign a pre-contract with a foreign club from January onward. Nketiah's decision is understood to be not motivated by finances, but over a lack of playing time. And a blind man could see you've needed to go for a while. You've probably not cut the mustard or been quite good enough. Arteta can say he loves you. You perform well in training. Minutes are currency. The manager could. I don't not doubt that Arteta rates you and likes you. And I'm not criticizing Arteta because even in Lacazette and Aubameyang's inconsistent form in front of goal, maybe Eddie could get a chance, but I don't necessarily think you could do it. So it is what it is. Jobs are on the line, and he hasn't used you. You're 22. You're still young. I'm not saying you're going to join Aubameyang, Vardy, Kane, or be anything near to what they've done in the Premier League. But I do think, unfortunately, people write off strikers already. The man's 22. He's old enough he should be ahead at 22 years of age, but he's still a young man. So go out and spread your wings and spread your roots and go elsewhere and do things. Minutes are currency. The manager ain't played you. Again, we've been winning games per se. We've been in decent form. You ain't been getting a look into the team beyond the cup. So it is what it is. He's free to sign with a foreign club from January. Again, just because he's free to sign for a foreign club does not mean he can't get an agreement with an English club legitly, which would mean him leaving for a transfer fee, or illegitimately, as you've seen. Leicester the other day with, is it Hurst? He went off to Belgium and then came back. Remember Zeki Friars? He left United and then went to Belgium and then he went to Spurs. There's little things you could do around that, or they could tell him indirectly, sit on your hands. You're coming to us next season. Arteta said he publicly wants to keep him. The club have offered him a contract, but obviously finances play a part. But if a man don't want to sign, it's because he's not sure of his game time realistically. So I can't blame him for any of that, people. As you lot can see here, other journalists are now saying the same thing. Eddie Nketiah turns down. This is Darmishev. Eddie Nketiah turns down Arsenal's latest contract offer, told it's not financially motivated, but about playing. He's not played in the Premier League this season. Arteta wants him to stay. I mean, I get it. Arteta wants him for the squad. He's a good guy and all them things there, but it don't make sense for Eddie Nketiah to sign a new deal, people. And obviously, big up to Eddie Nketiah being at the WizKid concert. You got free time to do all of that, but. Yeah, where Eddie Nketiah is concerned, it's looking a myth, people. So yeah, he needs to move on. And I mean, the minutes are currency, innit? I'm not expecting you to be, the best striker in the world, but beyond the squad player, you haven't shown really there's a role for you. Like I said, it's a shame because I think he's really starting to develop really and show his all aspects. But at the end of the day, man, you've been on the first team. I would say maybe 3, maybe even 4 years. You've been on the cusp of the first team. You've done your thing. You phoned your phones. Not a signal where it comes into Premier League consideration, but. He's made 67 appearances. Now, a lot of them haven't been 90 minutes. The bulk of them have probably been in the cup. Very few Premier League appearances. In fact, the man's only made 38 Premier League appearances in total since being here. And again, you've got to discount some because how many have been starts? How many have been 90? It is what it is. You can leave with your head held high. End of the day, you've come through the academy. You've won a couple FA Cups for us. Well, with us, and probably just one. I'm guessing. You've played first team football for Arsenal. It is a success. You've played 67 times. That is an academy success. Proven right when you got released by Chelsea to come here. But at the end of the day, this is probably as far as it goes, really. There is a future. You could be a squad player, but we need a striker. Balogun is behind you in terms of development because he hasn't been exposed to first team football, but I'd rather give Balogun a try. Martinelli, I'd rather try him through the middle. I'd rather bring in a top dog striker. And I say top dog, of course, I'd love it to be a household name. Probably won't. Just someone that's better. So it is what it is where that is concerned, people. 67 appearances, 15 goals, in the Premier League, 38 appearances, 5 goals. Minutes are currency. You went to the Championship. You couldn't cut the mustard there. 17 appearances, 3 goals, Again, got to develop. And really, look, he's not. How many times has he made the bench this season? Again, he's been injured on occasion, which probably he could have got a chance at the early doors in the season, but he's been on the bench twice. I didn't even know you were on the bench against Newcastle, but I got it right with the Watford one. Meady, again, cup games. Well, I'm sure you've played cup games. I don't know why it's not showing it here, but you've done your thing in the EFL. But that's 2 appearances and 2 goals. Big up to you. That's you. Minutes are currency, innit? You need to take a page out of your friend Joe Willock's book, leave the club and go and develop, man. But it's a shame that Arsenal stand to not make a bloody penny off Donny. Big up you lot. What are you lot saying in relation to this thing as well, people? Shout out to you lot. I've been airing you lot for a while, man. What have you lot been saying? He turned down Palace due to finances, which allegedly you hear, man. Bro, there's no signal in the Premier League. When Eddie's concerned, there's no signal. You ain't got the general. Lacazette's not a good goal scorer. He doesn't score enough goals, but you don't bring nothing to the. You don't press like Lacazette. And again, I'm being a bit harsh, but this is football, innit? You know? You got link up. You ain't got the link up play like it's been improving, but you ain't got the link up play like Lacazette. All the things because Lacazette isn't a household name in terms of goal scoring that we overcompensate. Aubameyang is not scoring enough goals, but let's respect what Aubameyang's brought to the table historically at this club. It's a myth. Balogun looks like a duck out of water, probably not ready for immediate Arsenal first team football, but I'd rather give him opportunities because he's younger than you. I think his ceiling is slightly higher if given opportunities. As I said, Operation Martinelli, so it's a myth. It's an absolute myth, you know. It's a myth. And I don't know even, you know, can we rule out the fact that he asked, you know, he might even try Smith Rowe or Odegaard as false number 9s again before he gives a chance to Eddie. So it is what it is. It is very annoying when players leave for free. I want to see us signing players for like 5 or 15 million, developing them and then using them for more, selling them for more or using them in the squad. I don't think Arteta wants Nketiah. He knows how to sell dreams. So far, he's been good with the contract renewals. Guess Garlick's helped with that too. Good attempt, bro. There's no signal once again. Move on, get better playing time, and get better minutes are currency. You need to, you know, it's all fun and games playing the occasional when we were there, Europa League or Cup game, and doing your little phone signals, but it's dead. You know, it's tiresome. And the problem is Eddie will have offers, but then when you look at it and beyond it, you know, oh, he's an Arsenal striker. Let's have a look at him. The numbers aren't good, you know. I'm sorry, respectfully, I'm not trying to be harsh, but it's facts. You know, everybody says he's an assassin, he's a gunman, he's a fox in the box. Where senior football is concerned, is this fox in the box statistics? 15 goals in 67. For Leeds in first team, 19 appearances, 5 goals. Is that fox in the box? This is my point. He needs to go out and play first team football. Simple as that. The problem is, why does Arteta want him to stay? I don't think it's alarming because he seems like a good guy in training and all them things there and whatnot. But again, you don't want to use him, man. Eddie ain't good enough to start. So what is he crying about? A bit harsh, you know. You should always back yourself, really, really and truly. I feel for Eddie, he needs to move on and play at his age. Same with Balogun, needs to play as well. Yes, sir. Appreciate you locked in. The Patrick Vieira hype seems to have died down. I love Patrick Vieira though, boy. Big up DG and people who hit the like button for the support. The rest of you are haters or just micro haters. Big up to you for that, man. Big up DG. Eddie's right to turn down the deal. The man needs to play football. He does, man. He does need to play football. And said, bye, Eddie. Prospect, but not good enough for Arsenal and don't think he'll ever be good enough. Eddie thinks he's an eagle. Right, you man not on him. You man are on him still. You man are on him. Carrying on with the transfer. What do you see? Eddie needs offers from EE to get better signal. A bit harsh. Players, agents persuading players to leave on the free. Do they get a bonus for this rather than a transfer fee? I'm not too sure, but I think if an agent, you know, you're gonna get a signing on bonus at his new club, innit, really and truly. And to be fair, there's enough reasons away from finances to, in general, young or old players, for your players to run down deals. For me, again, 18 months ago, you knew Eddie Nketiah's contract's running down in 2022. Why are we here? You know, why aren't we making progress in that regards? But it is what it is, people. Moving away from that though. There's rumors of Kulusevski and all of these things, so we might as well get into it. Don't worry, people. I've not forgotten about the Gabriel Mad thing. We're going to get into that. Hit the like button. There's 136 of you locked in. Make sure you're hitting the like button and you're setting your reminders for the Liverpool versus Everton watch along later today. And obviously, Man United, Arsenal tomorrow. Now, in relation to Kulusevski, people, we've been linked with him since the age of 16. We're getting linked with him again. I watched Juventus yesterday. I think he did play. Morata scored. They won 2-0. I think I turned off the game before it technically ended, but they were under mad pressure. On Kulusevski, DiMarzio has said Arsenal wants him. They have had first contact with his agents. Juventus bought him for 35 million euros plus bonuses. So it depends on how much Arsenal want to invest on this player. But I know the first contacts have been made. So again, big up to Football Daily. Again, this is all in terms of fair use. Let's listen to what exactly has been said.
Arsenal wants him. They have the first contacts with the agents. Juventus bought him for 35 million of euro.
So it's not going to be cheap.
So it depends on how much much Arsenal wants to invest on this player, but I know that the first contacts are made by the parts. Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, Kulusevski's lovely. He can play out wide. Can play. I wouldn't prefer him out wide, but can play out wide. Can play in the 10. Can play deeper in midfield. He's a historic Arsenal player. I don't necessarily. I would describe. Let me keep it true. As much as I like him, I'd describe him as a bit of a luxury player at this moment in time. He can play as an 8, as I've seen him do it in Italy, but that's not his household job in it. He's a cute player. He's a luxury player. You know, he's someone that I could see. You know, we could flirt with many options of him, Smith Rowe, Odegaard. I think he's closer to that sort of player. And I think personally in the midfield, we need a number 8, you know, an 8 or 2 people who that's your job in it. But he's a historic Arsenal player. I will be for it. He's wavy and whatnot. Allegedly, just by looking at some other articles, people, Arsenal move ahead of Tottenham in the transfer pursuit after making first contact. Arsenal are reportedly ahead of Tottenham in the race for the Juventus star. Arsenal are more likely than Tottenham to sign Juventus winger Dejan Kulusevski in January. According to reports, both North London clubs have been linked with a move for the Sweden international. The 21-year-old only became part of Juventus squad last season after initially joining the club in Jan 2020 for an initial 29.8 million, 35 million euros. So they're going to have to make a reinvestment. And as much as I like him, you know, do we have the finances to spend or commit 20 and well, more than that, probably in the region of a 30s or something, and bringing a number 8? I'm not too sure, people. He made 19 starts last season. Which is crazy. You know, it's been a disappointing time for them. And it's like what everybody looking at Juventus, it doesn't appear that Allegri is a fan necessarily of Kulusevski. He's had to settle for a bench role. So that's probably where the bulk of these rumors are emanating from, people. Apart from that, I can't see how it's supposed to happen, people. So that's that in relation to Arsenal's transfer news. We'll get into Mikel Arteta stuff in a bit. As I said, people, tomorrow is watch along business. So make sure Arsenal versus Man United, 7:15. You've hit the like button. You've set your reminders. One love to the 3 of you who have done that. And then obviously later today, you've got not Manchester. You've got Everton against Liverpool. So make sure you've hit them reminders. Shout out to the 2 people, including myself. You lot are doing me dirty, man. So yeah, make sure you set your reminders for that. I think that's at 7:45. I'm going to be live on Twitch at 5:30 with Flawless Arsenal versus Man United preview. I will be dropping an Arsenal Man United preview with Aaron and Statman. I've probably about, let's say 2-3, you know, so one of them. So make sure content. But in relation to transfer news, that's where we're at, people. You know, Eddie Nketiah's turned down a contract. Kulusevski's, you know, whether we're going to get him or not is another thing. And to be fair, if you could get a little 15 or something for Eddie and slap that on top of whatever kitty you have, you know, wouldn't be against it. Kulusevski. Ooh, let me spell that properly. Again, people, name another YouTuber that makes sure you lot have got all the timestamps for those of you that have missed it. Shout out to everyone watching this on the replay. Arsenal talks, we'll leave that at that. What are you lot saying? They brought him for 35, so what are we going to get him for? Has he proven to be a 50 million player? I wouldn't say that. I believe in the guy's potential, but it is what it is. What Haaland players do you think will feature in the Wimbledon game? Wimbledon? We played Wimbledon, bro. Have we? I'm sure we played Wimbledon. Sunderland, you mean? And I'm not sure. Eddie is probably the only academy guy that doesn't get love from the majority of the fan base. It should say a thing about his level. Say a thing. I mean, fans gas up a lot of players, man. I can't lie to you, but I hear you. Appreciate the super chat. Big up, DG. Remember, Eddie's apps aren't full apps, mainly subs, which can be misleading. Exactly what's stated, but at the same time, I think it's evident that he's clearly not rated. And if you haven't made, like, can anyone say he's made 10 starts in the Prem or can remember them? You know, how many times has he made consecutive starts? How many times has he been in the squad? How many times has he been in the squad this season? How many minutes have you played according to cups? You know, it all tells itself. Eddie's young enough to go and have a career, but right now he probably just needs to be moved on, really and truly. And as I said, minutes are currency. He needs to probably just bite the bullet. I know it's probably hard. You've been at Arsenal for the best part of how long, but to develop, you've got to get out of here. And if you're only making them sort of appearances there, it tells you everything. You've been on the cusp of the first team probably what Wenger's last season, maybe the second season before that. He has been on the cusp. I remember what. Do you remember remember what kit was it where we had the sort of black and pink one and we went to China? I think them times there, Cohen Bramall was an Arsenal player. Do you not remember Marlon was there? And Marlon seemed to be behind Eddie Nketiah, rightly or wrongly, in that pecking order. So it tells you everything. If you've just been a bit part player since you've been in the first team, it is what it is. And I've said it where it comes to Eddie, where it comes to a lot of these young players, you know. For me, anyways, if in January 2021, I look back a year, I go forward a year, and I'm in August 2021. I go a year forward into August 2022, and I look back at my season, and I haven't had the season I've wanted. Yeah, you can blame other things, but it's times where people need to take responsibility. If Eddie is not where he wants to be as a footballer, it's his fault. The same for Reece Nelson, the same for Joe Willett, the same for any of these players. Once you get to that 20 sort of age, you've got to be a grown man and grow a pair and take things for what they are, really and truly. There's an air of comfortability. I think Nketiah at Brighton or Newcastle would do him the world of good. It would. And I think they wouldn't turn him down. But again, the problem is, people will take a chance on him. But if you're Newcastle and you need to score goals, I'm not saying Eddie couldn't score goals, but you kind of need someone who can do this right now. Would you bet on Eddie to do that? Now, I would back him to do it, but would you bet on him? You know, this is a man that ain't scored double figures in the league for the club. You know, hasn't got the most respectable of goal scoring returns. You know, so you might listen to buying him when you get past the Arsenal youth euphoria. Can he score the goals if you're trying to stay in the division? If you're trying to push, these are things that you would be looking at. So, yeah, man. Shout out to you, Prince, for being the other guy who hit the like button, man. So, yeah, man. If you're watching and ain't hitting the like button next time you ask for help, I hope you don't get unexpected high bills if you do not hit that like button, people. So, yeah, interesting points. Interesting points, people. Very interesting points. I really think Eddie is a better winger. Fair enough. DiMarzio was fraudy, was saying Ronaldo to City, Donnarumma to Barca and Juventus. And Giroud to Juventus, boy. So yeah, I tell you, as usual, I'm not we're just talking about what was being speculated in the paper. I don't know who's better in this journalism thing than the others and all them things there, boy. I can only deal with what's in front of us. So yeah, man, it is where that's concerned. I can't say it's sounding very confident then, really and truly. It's not sounding too promising where that's concerned. But it is what it is, man. Hit the like button. We're at 83 likes. We're close, but we're not far enough, people. Did you watch that highlights Arsenal posted on Twitter? Mr. Liquid Football with Ozil, Alexis, Rambo. Ooh, Liquid Football with Aaron Ramsey. Ooh, I think replaced that with Santi, but now I never saw it, and I do miss watching good football. I respect your grind. It's evident how much effort you put in. Big ups, DG. I appreciate that, man. I'm trying to work a lot smarter and not, trying to work hard, but it's about working smart. Fans are fickle. I remember when they couldn't stop gassing Eddie. I remember when they couldn't stop gassing Marie. I'd rather Liao over Kulusevski. I hear that, but me, I'd rather Kulusevski. Eddie has had his chance. Hate to say it, but just like Willock, he can't cut it here. Chance is subjective, but I hear that. I'd rather Wilson over Nketiah, not going to lie. Wilson's decent, but if we're talking about them sort of man, I'd rather the young players get opportunities every day of the week. You know, respectfully, Wilson can't take us forward. Are Arsenal still offering Eddie a new deal, though? Yep, that's the whole reason of us speaking about him. Shout out to everyone locked in 100%. Eddie Nketiah under Graham Potter would be a really good striker. Those guys create loads of chances. They just need that fox in the box that Eddie can be. So yeah, go out and prove you can be that, Eddie. It's not gonna happen here, man. Who would you say is the best signing of the Emirates era? Can't lie, for me, it's Santi. Alexis Sanchez. Top 5? Alexis Sanchez. Top 5. This is no order. Alexis Sanchez, Santi Cazorla, Aubameyang, Bakary Sagna, I would say, for durability. And there's, I could say Ozil for me. There's a bunch of players I could say, but for me, I'm going to say Monreal, I'm going to say Monreal. When he came, I thought he was shit. And then he steadily developed and became someone. And I just feel, well, we would be a lot, we could do with Monreal and Sagna in the squad specifically. These guys that aren't going to do anything too amazing, but there's an air of consistency. There's reliability. There's durability. As much as I like the stars, I thought, let me give love to them 2 fullbacks, Carl. Shout out to Tomiyasu and that. But yeah, man. Man said, don't forget your favourites, Alex Song and Ospino. Don't start all of that, man. Don't start all of that. Don't start. Come on, guys, smash the like button. We're still not 100. Any news about Isaac to Arsenal? Would be a really good player. Also played with Odegaard before. It doesn't seem like there is beyond the normal ones just linking us with him. I'm not gonna lie. I would love Isaac, but I don't think it's gonna be a wavy thing like Aubameyang come. Let's just say Lacazette goals. Aubameyang's made a bench guy. Isaac starts and then he's just gonna score 20 league goals. I think he really would struggle in his first year. I want him, but he's a young man. You know, we're not going to get someone, I don't know who, but we're not going to get them guys that are also young but look a bit different like VLAHOVIC. So if Isaac did come, we'd probably need to give him a while. And then obviously there will still be another year we're struggling to score goals. I want it to happen, but I think there's that. I think Arsenal, if you could get someone like Isaac and get an experienced guy to play with him, why not, man? Or make our wingers or midfielders or either find personnel or make them score because it sounds stupid to say we're relying on our strikers to score goals. I mean, obviously, but we don't really share the goals out realistically. Like Pepe Pepe's up there for goals and assists, and he's been a bit part player for the last 2 years, really. So that tells you everything, really. I think Lacazette's up there. What's he got, like 2 goals? I could be capping, and I'm not trying to do him dirty. We don't score goals, we don't create, in the set, we don't necessarily defend well, even though there's been improvements. So again, I'm still trying to see what our team is about and what it reflects and all of that sort of jazz, people. SA would be a better signing than Renato, but you've got more of a realistic chance, in my opinion, Arsenal of Renato. I mean, we'd all love Lewandowski, but man, a dream chasing. Bro, Tomiyasu's quality, man. It's just Sagna and Monreal ran the race. Mustafi isn't even a starter for La Liga bottom club Levante these days, bro. I'm so happy not, when I'm seeing Bellerin get assists, fair play, but when I'm seeing him, you make mistakes and it's got nothing to do with us anymore. It always brings a tear to my eye, man. Almost. I love for the super chat. What a man, Gabriel. What a beast. What a mentality. I have a Gabriel shirt. This has made me love him even more. What a coward from those thugs. Pardon my language. Love for the super chat, my guy. And yeah, we're gonna get into that, man. Yo, that brother who disrespected Tomiyasu deserves to lose his job. Trust, he was moving like he's robbed. Tomiyasu, I think he could be a competent option. I think he can long term get into that bracket with Monreal and Sagna, but you got to do it for years, innit? And I like signings like that. As much as I don't feel there's any Arsenal players that get bums off seats and play amazing, we just need people that it does what it says. There's a durability. You can have confidence that, it's just gonna, he's just gonna do his job. It's a can of beans in it, baked beans. You know what it is. You can either make some toast and have beans on toast, or have a jacket potato, but you ain't gonna do nothing amazing with it. But there's a reliability to it, people. Is what it is. Little Mozart was my guy. He was, but I wouldn't say he was close to being one of the best signings at the Emirates. Can't lie. Would you take Gerard Moreno from La Liga? He's not bad, but allow me. Hey, Koscielny. Do you know what? Even from what he's come from, Koscielny, but soft you, man. Soft you. What are we smoking at the Emirates? Why are we offering Eddie a new contract? He needs to go. It didn't work. I mean, we did try to move him on. I understand offering him a new deal purely like what we did with, I assume, with Xhaka, what we did with what's his name, Reece Nelson. You buy yourself another year and give yourself a bit of resale value. There's probably a couple. I'm not being funny, but the contracts in 2023 and 2024 need a look at, in my opinion. DG, with football being so systemic now, would you prefer great footballing style, but the ceiling is domestic cup / Europa, or Premier League and Champions League trophies with dead football? What, we're gonna win it, yeah? Provided it actually results in bringing these trophies home, then Champions League, bro. As an Arsenal fan, I was starved of the Premier League. We've got fans that have grown up, never, some Arsenal fans, depending on your age, you might as well be the same level as Spurs fans. Yeah, we've won trophies, but they've never seen us win the Premier League. Champions League is everything. I want it all, man. I want that. So I would say that, but I was going to lean towards the beautiful football and the Disney Channel stuff. But if your question 100% results in trophies, then I'm not gonna lie. I know everyone would want it every way. Everyone wants to have it all the way, play good football and win trophies. But as long as you win, who cares? I'm not sure Chelsea will care about either of their Champions League victories, people. I'm not sure United will care about any, you know, and it hasn't always been pretty. You know, even our run to 06, it was very attractive and we did play good football, but it wasn't exactly pretty all the time. So if it's a means to an end, I'm on it, bro. No guarantees, then I'd rather just play good football. But if we're closer to winning the Champions League, then yeah, I'd probably take that, man. I've only seen us win FA Cups. Damn. Trust me, dead football. We need Champions League. It's a crime that we don't have one. Trust. This is why I question Arteta's judgment. He wanted to give Mustafi an extension. I don't know what he was on them times there, man. North London is trenches football or not. Come on. 2 likes away from 100. Big up you lot for that one there, man. Appreciate that. DG, keep one or sell one. Saka or Martinelli. Oof. Martinelli only because I think, you know, I'm a big fan of Martinelli and I've made my peace that one day Real Madrid, Barca, these teams are going to come in for him. Not saying that isn't going to happen with Saka, but I've made my peace that Martinelli, you know, I've said it before. I've Martinelli, Gabriel. I don't think these guys are going to be here long if everything pops off personally. Man said, no, that beautiful ish can wait. I want a Champions League. Trust, we can play all the beautiful football after. I hear that, man. I hear that. But I've got zero chat for Chelsea fans, bro. When my Chelsea friends are supporting, man, I'm just like, I just say the same old tired things. Can you get on the train? Did they even like you? Yeah, man, they are racist. You know, you were made in 04. You know, half of you are Arsenal fans. It's dead, bro. It's dead. The man start showing me pictures of Drogba. It gets mad. You know, Drogba used to bully us. It's all mad. Zero chat. You got zero chat for bare things. Shout out, Mr. Vegas. I see a super chat, but I can't see a super chat, if that makes sense. Like, I see we've been alerted. Gravenberch would be wavy. Being an Arsenal fan in Manchester is hard at the moment. Prince, big up to you. You're doing it backwards. Half of them United fans seem to be London guys, and you're doing it backwards. Shout out to you. No one can question you, you know. Big up you for that one. Like, I had to do it. We're playing them, man, there in 24 hours. Make sure you set your reminders on the watch along, by the way. Love for the super chat again, man. You're too kind, Max. Gabriel battering, man, on and off the field, losing teeth on the field and attacking robbers. Our boys are built different. I bet these thugs didn't come up against the San Paulo where this happens regularly. Love from Australia. Big up the Aussies. I appreciate you. And for me, I hate thieves, innit? I hate thieves. Like, I hate thieves. You know, everyone's got to pay bills. I'm sure the thieves, apart from just the fact that my man's a footballer and he's got peas, there's no way, you know, there's nothing personal beyond it. But I hate thieves because you're robbing from what people have earned, in it. Like, more time. I know these footballers have it, but when you see, like, I'm going off topic, but when you see house robberies and stuff, you're robbing from people that ain't got it. At least if you're doing the Robin Hood thing, I get it. You know, it's unfortunate. It don't matter if you're rich or poor, living the suburbs in London or where else, or even in England. There's people that will scheme on you, in it. We've had this with Kolasinac in traffic. We'll get on to Gabriel in a second. I don't quite know what, like, the context behind it. I did watch the video, but yeah, it's Pete. What I would say is fundamentally, if he got anything that he got robbed, he can buy back, provided it's not got sentimental value and, you know, it weren't a thing where they've robbed his keychain and his mum bought him the keychain, or his auntie, God forbid, before she died, bought him something, and then you get it, there's sentimental value. Them things there can buy back. Even if they rob your car and whatnot, them things there can buy back. What can't buy back is not feeling safe in your own house. What can't buy back is your life. You know, so fundamentally, give your life, you know, keep your life, and then that's it. Move forward. You know, what's a fucking nice car or whatever? Do you know the funniest thing? Yeah, about that. I don't debate myself. Basically, you see the guy who did it. One of my lads, you know, before he turned his life around, he was like, "Oh, this was a guy I was in Feltham with. If you don't know what Feltham is, it's a youth offenders institution. He's on the wing." So clearly that Donny who, and ironically, allegedly, the person who did it's from North London. So ironically, that person who hit the jailhouse one time, he didn't learn. But, you know, they say you're more likely to reoffend when you leave. My man's did it. I mean, what a shit hustle, though. Obviously, it could be lucrative, but what a shit hustle. You know, and for footballers or anyone in life, it serves as a lesson, because I don't know if they've seen him out or they've gone, you know, certain people, there's levels to robbery. Certain people, it could have just been a chance thing with Gabriel, or what I think happened, like you saw with them Italian guys who I think they got bagged now. They were going around like Lampard's yard, all them yards there, and robbing it, or Reece James's one. Where Reece James, I think someone genuinely schemed on you. They knew, so you probably got to watch your circle, cause someone knew something in it. It's too tempting. That video with Reece James is too coordinated. Man knew where to go. Maybe even your cleaner snaked you. I don't know if that was a cerebral thing with Gabriel. If they, you know, because you know certain people, you might know there's a certain I don't know, rich club in Park Lane that all the footballers and celebs go. There's man that will go there, sit outside, wait for someone, and then follow them. I don't know if it was a thing like that. That's the first thing I thought it was when I saw Gabriel car. It looked like that. But big up Gabriel, man. You know, just wish Kolasinac was with him. You don't want to buck them two. You know, again, I always say when Arsenal crumble, I don't know if I would want to go out on a night out with these guys, but where Gabriel's concerned, yeah. And to be fair to you, we've got to remember, obviously, respectfully, I'm not trying to take it there, but man's from Brazil, innit? This ain't his first tumble and tussle, and it probably isn't going to be. And that's what these guys probably got wrong, people. They thought, you know what, we're going to move to him. They don't know my man's Brazilian. But for a young man who's just joined a new club, I say just joined, he's been there for a couple of years, he's in a new country. You know, he's a young man as well. It can be quite intimidating and scary. All I'd say is every dog has their day, man. And let's hope the Arsenal fans smash up my man on the wing. I can't lie to you. Make sure you take his blood clot canteen. Make sure he gets no Coley noodles. Put his head down the toilet. You know. I would, you know, all of them things there. But anyways, Arsenal star Gabriel in horror baseball bat attack. Brazilian fought off masked thugs who followed him home and tried to steal his, Mercedes and watch. Tottenham drug dealer is jailed for 5 years. I mean, you know, generally, the articles kill me because, respectfully, and I'm not trying to back this guy. What the hell does him being a drug dealer or whatever have to do with it, man? You know, it is some unnecessary details, but fair play. You know, Gabriel and a friend were followed home from a night out by 2 robbers. So again, in London, you can't lack. In England in general, man. There's thief everywhere. Make sure you're not lacking. Masked thugs demanded the footballers' car keys, mobile phone, and watch. In this day and age, what can you do with a mobile phone? Boy, and that's more time, you know. My man's a civilian. He's going to talk to the rallies. You know, if he's got Find My iPhone, you lot are not the smartest of criminals, are you? What the fuck? But anyways, one of the attackers, my man, then lunged at the Brazilian with a bat. Gabriel struck him in the face, and wrestled with him before this 26-year-old ran off. You know, the police linked him to the raid from DNA after his hat fell off during the struggle. Amateurs. You know, as it says here, Gabriel fought off a robber wielding a baseball bat who tried to steal his £45,000 Mercedes from his garage. Gabriel and a friend were followed home from a night out by 2 robbers who demanded the footballer's car keys, mobile phone, and watch as he got out of his vehicle. One of the attackers then lunged at him with a baseball bat, but Gabriel struck him in the face and wrestled with him, grabbing his hat until the robber wriggled free and ran off. And you're lucky Gabriel's a nice guy. If this was Kolasinac, you might have got yourself mashed up still. But anyways, the 26-year-old was allegedly jailed for 5 years last month after police linked him to a robbery in August. So he'll be out in 2.5. And, you know, he didn't learn his lesson first time. You know, clearly drug dealing didn't work out. You know, he found a new hustle robbing footballers. There must have been times it worked. Didn't work out. What's the third one going to do? You're going to upgrade that to yards? You're just going to get a job? You're going to change it up? Like, clearly the hustle ain't where you're a 26-year-old big man and you're there robbing people. You fucking wallad. You're not even robbing grows or nothing wavy. You're just doing bullshit. Robbing from people who have earned stuff. Pussy old youths. But anyways, horrifying CCTV footage played in court shows the black Mercedes pull into the garage at Gabriel's house in Barnet, North London. And the 23-year-old get out with his friend. Muse and his accomplice, both wearing masks and hoods, walked into the garage and Muse holds the bat up to the footballer's face. Well, Gabriel, you're not even in gated community in that. And I mean, again, you can see it here, people. I mean, let me make it bigger for you lot. Let's see exactly what's happened here. Don't think there's any sound, but I assume this is Gabriel. These are the thieves, them. You know, doing what civilians should do. Like I said, give your stuff. What's all of this, bro? Watch all this bullshit can be brought back. It's not worth your life. Obviously, there's the tussle thing going on there. I assume it's not looking like the best of footage. And that's that. I don't know who my man is, but you need to come off my thing, brother. Some funny business, but that seems to have been it. As you lot know, he joined for 27 million. As you lot can see, he's held his hands in the air and then removes his watch and hands it to the attacker along with the keys. And to be fair, these lot are lucky. I don't know. Obviously, when man get bagged, then you do things like this. Typically, when it comes to drugs, you're lucky. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the proceeds of crime where you have to pay the shit back. And obviously, the hustle isn't working. You know, if man are doing this, you're desperate for peas. You know, so I'm not too sure. But anyways, you know. Gives up the things. He then lunges with a baseball bat. Gabriel grabs him in the face and grabs his arm. The pair struggle for a moment before he wriggles free and he and his accomplice sprint away from the house past a third member of the gang whose role was to ensure the electronic gates remained open. So it is a gated community. So again, Did my man get bagged? Because if you got bagged, then you're just a lookout, probably younger than all of them. That's a dickhead thing. Have fun. Imagine. I can only imagine that. What are you in for? I tried to rob a footballer. Guys are there saying I embezzled millions and I did this stockbroking thing and I used to sell $1 million worth of crack or whatever. And you're there, I tried to rob a footballer and I didn't work away and I got struck in the face. What a story on the wing. Anyways, no injuries were suffered, but a great deal of shock was caused. They happened to pick on victims who were very fit and able to look after themselves. Of course, this must be a shock. You're going home. You don't expect this. You're in a gated community. You probably don't feel safe in your house. And like I said, this guy's living in a foreign country. I wouldn't even necessarily feel safe in a foreign land, really and truly. The judge said there was no evidence Muse and his accomplices targeted Gabriel because he was a Premier League star. Rather, they had followed him to his house because he appeared to be wealthy. While you didn't specifically target the victim on the account of him being a well-known footballer, there was a realization this person was wealthy and worthy of robbing. Fair play, How many of you are Arsenal fans? You should have just asked for a picture. You saw a nice car and a nice house and thought it was rich pickings. Unfortunately, thanks to the brave actions of the people you targeted, no further damage was done. As you know, this man from Tottenham has a string of convictions dating back to 2009 when he was caught in possession of a prohibited weapon. He was on license when he attacked Gabriel. So again, my man's desperate for funds, bro. You're on license, bro. The hustle isn't working. Again, finding a new job with a criminal record is difficult. He needed quick cash, and maybe he knew he was going to jail again. So again, I don't know. Are these going to run concurrently? Because you probably have to see out the rest of your previous offense. Where again, it's not worth it, bro. Like you're 26. I don't know if you've got a kid. I'm sure you got a wife and family and whatnot. You're a joke, man. He was on license when he attacked Gabriel after being given a 56-month sentence for possession heroin with intent to supply. I mean, as I said, the drug dealing thing didn't work in it. He said, "Let me just start robbing niggas." Pardon my French. The judge said, "You have an appalling record for a man of 26. This was an horrific and frightening attack on a group of people who were simply coming home from a night out. He was jailed for 5 years and he'll be out in 2.5 to try the same fucker again over 1 count of robbery and 1 of possession of offensive weapon. Moose's 2 accomplices have not been caught. At least you kept it true. You didn't snitch. I'll give you that, man. You did your crime, did your time. You didn't start singing on your friends, and your friends are probably out here doing their fuckery as well. And if you didn't drop your hat, you might have got away with it, but it's a bit of a myth, people. So yeah, people, as you lot know, this is the third Arsenal player, if you include ex-Arsenal player Mesut Ozil, who has been targeted. There's probably a bag of other footballers. I mentioned Reece James. Mahrez gets robbed every week. Half the time, 9 times out of 10, it's these footballers' houses being robbed, which you'd prefer their houses to get robbed than obviously stuff like this, because it could have been worse, people. Now, we respectfully, not to praise these robbers or anything. Clearly, they were just trying to scare, man. But sometimes moves go wrong, innit? All it took was for someone to use a bat and strike someone, and something, this turns into from a robbery to manslaughter or a murder. Imagine man had a knife and he caught something, then this is all looking different, innit? So thankfully, nobody is hurt beyond the mental scars and having to relive the ordeal. It seems to be all right. I don't think there's any other things here apart from, as you lot already know, Gabriel fought off baseball bat wielding thug in attempted robbery at his house. Now, I'm only doing this so I can see if there's any other footage, people. So yeah, now, obviously we're focused on Gabriel. Shout out to his friend as well. Hopefully all right. As you lot have already seen, he can be initially seen handing over his keys, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's over, man. It's over for Donny, innit? That's that where Gabriel is concerned. What do you lot make of that, people? I should have spoke about that at the start, but we got over that now. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Gabriel. There you have that. Brazy one. Brazy one. Absolute brazy one, man. Oh yeah, man. I never experienced the title parade. Damn. What else are we seeing, man? Let me see what's going on. Big up yourself for the super chat. You're too kind, Max. Gabriel and Syed would be the best security guards. Trust. You don't even know what they're saying, but they just know they're going to finesse you quickly. Just glad everyone is safe. Exactly, man. All the bullshit can be brought back. All the nice watching the cars. What Gabriel's on healthy wages. It's not worth getting injured for, because God forbid, all it took is he got struck on his head, he's got hurt, and then that's your season already derailed by something that has nothing to do with football. This is a man that's just got in the Brazil team doing all these things. So, it is what it is. 5 years is a myth, ain't serving the full set. Of course, he's out in 2.5, excluding what's going on with his license, man. Do they play baseball in England? Wouldn't a cricket bat be more fitting? Look at this guy. I got a baseball bat for what it's worth, you know. If it gets sticky, I've had to use it once. You get me? Hopefully never again. Trust, I hate man like that, bro. How can your whole career be teething? Like, I mean, at least rob a bank or something, man. Go and rob them rich bankers who rob us normal people and rob our taxis. Go and at least, I'm not saying move to anyone, but at least go and do some fraud over there or do some Robin Hood thing and something, man. Don't do it from a youth who's from Brazil. His talent has got him out of a situation. And pick your targets better, cause it's gone. And if you're gonna do this thing, don't drop evidence. Don't drop your hat. Now you're what? It's all Christmas now. You're going to get a boiled egg. It's all 3-hour bang up. 23-hour bang up. Your girl's probably getting revved out by them. You know, your two friends that you did the move with, they're probably beating out your gal and whatnot. You're calling her. She ain't sending her. She says she's busy. Now you're turning crazy. You know, the story comes out on the wing. Arsenal fans going in there trying to G-check youths. What's going on? You know, it's all long. You know, you're getting bullied in there. You're asking for a security ship out and that. It's all a myth. So, if you better hope you're not in swell side or something, boy, or the scrubs or something, but you ain't getting no decap for time as well. You're going, this is a violent crime as well. Myth, you're hitting the bell marsh and that. This is a myth. That's that stiff bang up. Stiff. Shout out to you, you mug. Shout out Gabriel because he's still alive and his boy and whatnot. I ain't saying shout out to the Metropolitan Police. You lot can if you want. Gabriel is from the streets of Brazil. He ain't scared of this off you. I mean, and my man's heart never had a heart in it, bro. He's better off going job center. Like I said, I mean, that 26-year-old is probably fit and able to work, but I'd rather him go rob our taxis than try to do that. Clearly, the life ain't working out, man. Not a great drug dealer if he has to go out on the rob. I also done a few months per in Feltham in 2000. I can tell you that place ain't a joke. Big up Richard. And I'm just happy I ain't had to be in Feltham, but I've done a couple of visits to Feltham and sitting there with the stories. I'm like, what? Hot water, what? Man, this, that? Well, I'm happy I ain't ever had to be here. I ain't on none of that. But shout out to you, Richard, for getting through that, man. Big up to you, man. And again, you know, Richard, you've obviously change your life. And again, I sadly have friends who have had things like that and they don't do fuckery like that. So yeah, 26, bro, same age as me. Come on, man. It don't make sense, man. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. That literally doesn't make sense. You're too old for this. To be fair, you can drop a hat, but again, this just screams desperation, man. This is a guy that needed peas, and rather than work on it legitly or find a craft or start a business, I know these things are easier said than done. Guys are doing what's probably come easy to him his whole life, taking it from somebody else, which is a shame, man. But fuck that guy. Less of that, man. You know, on behalf of every normal person, I'd like to say to this 26-year-old, suck your mum with a straw for that robbery. But moving away from all of that, love for the super chat. Alex, big up. Man said Alex, there's Alexander there. Whatever you said, was DG was on some scared straight thing. No. It's unfortunate, but you know, a couple of friends have had to go there. And to be honest, I don't like jail visits. It's actually mad degrading, the searching, and things are getting put away. And especially when you get turned down. Oh, you smell like cannabis. Who, me? Well, I don't know about that. Well, I ain't got nothing on me. Just let me visit my guy. You know, we're trying to get in the visits and that. But anyways, so apparently this happened at the start of the season, which shows you Gabriel's mentality. I'm glad Gabriel and his friend are okay. Didn't work for those robbers. I bet those other two youths are trying to find softer men, bro. They need to go and find Ben White or something, you know, and then Ben White probably moved to you as well, respectfully. It's a bit of a brooky one, man, but I hope he's good. And like you lot said, on a serious note, it speaks volumes of his mentality to just get on with things. Obviously, the saddest thing about life, it goes on in it. You have to get on with it. You just have to get on with it. And I think he's done that in it. So it's amazing. And to be honest with you, it makes you think, what other things are footballers going through? Nothing to do with just this, you know, other things like, and they've just had to get on with it. Man said to you, oh, that's a madness. And I can tell you for a fact, when stories hit the jailhouse, bro, people are gonna be banging on my door. Hey, you try and rob Gabriel, you dickhead, you. It's gonna get mad for him. Probably a Spud fan, probably with that decision making. End of the day, still returned home. You know, if that was a cup game, he's in a tournament, he returned home empty-handed. What do you get? You know, sounding like the police were waiting for Donny before he even got there. Like, all I'd say, I'll give it to him. You know, I'm not promoting crime or anything like that, but At least he didn't snitch in it. Like, at least he did. At least he didn't. You know, because if you're gonna do something, you got to take the rough with the smooth in it. You know, don't try to turn on your friends. I don't advocate none of them. You know, but you could have been. You know, you still would have got birded, but you could have sang a lot of tales, man. I'm surprised they don't have guards at gated community. They probably do. It's just, well, man are robbers in it, and these man, they're amateurists, but there was an element of planning behind it. It doesn't scream slapdash. They probably staked out the place, waited on on an avenue. You know, it's little things like that. No matter how much security and all these things, there's always a way around things, man. It's embarrassing robbing people, but it must be even more embarrassing, you know, being unable to do it, man. Werner to United, where's that? Ugh. That's a smelly one still. Now, what are we gonna go from one attempted robbery to another one? Raw. That's brazy. I can't lie. That's brazy. Where did that one come from? Makes sense why Gabriel didn't play at the beginning of the season. It's, yeah, man. You did think, you know, you did think it happened then, but it is what it is. And this is what I'm saying. Son of an immigrant as well, you know. Kid probably, you know, mummy probably working hella jobs to give her son something. And you're just stressing her out. Now, mummy, you know, don't forget, sadly, you know, he might have been an idiot, but his family wasn't. Now, mummy's got a, I don't know, it's all fun and games. I don't know if you're in HMP Brixton. I mean, he's in North, innit? It's still a bop, but at least you could get Victoria Line or something. You know, she can see him, or his friends or whatever can see him. When he gets moved up north or whatever, and them things there, mummy can't be up in Yorkshire or wherever the fuck they've sent you every week. You know, they've got to do the sentence with you. I don't know if he's got a girlfriend, a family, whatever, but this is where a man has to think about decisions. Ironically, that could have been the desperation which led to this, but this is why in life you've always got to think, man. You've always got a choice. You've always got a choice. And I know it's hard with men that have criminal records. Trust me, I understand it, because I think it's too, even me, I might sound like it's easy. It's not easy for people with criminal records to change their lives. You know, the world doesn't want to forgive them, especially when they've got some mad charges, but it can be done. You've got to want to, though. And a lot of these people, they can't go from, obviously my man was selling drugs, innit? You can't go from that quick money in my hand, you know, 3 for 25, beating these shots, cash in hand, to waiting on a monthly paycheck, and my man telling you whatever, because that's what happens. That's what actually, it's not that these guys can't work. It's always like, I said, dickhead thing. You know what man can make in it? Bro, man not doing that. And then man's just going to keep going jail, and then he's going to see, you know what, this is long, you know, let me pattern up. And more time, these lot are trying to keep up with a certain lifestyle, you know, lifestyles that normal people can't really, man can't do the flashy thing all the time. Shit move, man. What a shit move. Away from all of that, man, and away from all this prison shit as well, like, is what it is. It's a shame, man. Like I said, as long as he's all right, as long as his fam's all right, as long as there's no reoccurrence, because I can't confidently say that's not going to be the first, that's not going to be the last time. Yeah, I remember when how old was that? My first ever one-on-one street fight, I must have been about 15, 16. Tell a lie, probably about 15. Coming home from a party, when Cracker tried it with, man. Like, me and him are just rocking it out. Like, it's mad. That's for another day, innit? Just rocking it out, bro. Rocking it out. Like, rocking it out. He's a mazza. Try rob me. Imagine that. Cracker try rob, man. Pardon my language, people. Hey, I'm trying to take my phone, you know. Hey. Anyways, man, when is your preview for the United game? We're going to get into that, man. We're going to get into that. We're here for a good time and a long time, man. But yeah, we've just covered Gabriel. We've spoken about the transfer business. We're going to get into Arteta's press conference, Man United, and all of that good stuff very soon, people. Literally, you know, I've got, just so you know, I'm not gassing you and lying to you lot. You can see my good old Google Doc. And yeah, it's coming soon, man. Soon land, bro. Soon land. Well, one day, man. One day, man. I got hell of them stories, man. Like, absolutely, guy. I remember he gave me one bang, yeah. And I swear to you, it's like the ancestor said, no. I just felt the ancestor strength, like, just rocking him the fuck out. I've had bare things, man. Like, and the robbery was always something that's close to me, because I've been rushed because I didn't want to give my phone. That was a myth, bro. That was so deep. That was so deep. Like, I just remember getting absolutely thumped up and stamped on the floor. I'm just holding, like, my pockets. I got a school blazer. I'm holding it like that. Thought I was gonna get ripped. I just remember when it was all. That's what I've told you like this before. When it was all done, I sat there. I was on the side of the pavement. Some lady out the road was like, the lady out the window was like, "You all right?" Like, fucking no, I wasn't all right. I know you saw all of this. No snitching, but man couldn't. No snitching, but you couldn't have said what? I'm calling the police. Just so man think, let me stop this, innit? But that day serves me right because you know a lesson, kids. Go home. Like go home after school, go home, innit? Just go home because it serves me right. I was near my house, but it wasn't the way I needed to go home. It was far later than I needed to be in my yard. If I took my backside to my yard, that wouldn't have happened. There was a get back though, so it is what it is, you know. Calm as a bitch. But anyways, away from all of that, crazy man, crazy. You're an Everton fan. Shout out to you. We got you lot soon, man. DG, we got to do a personal stream with stories at 50k. Hey, man. It's a bookie one. Arsenal have reportedly raised their 80 million offer, euro offer for Florentina striker Dusan Vlahovic. I mean, ain't we heard Donny don't want us? So you can offer £1 million, like 100 million quid and an extra million for his advisors. If they're not answering the phone and them thing there, then it's all a myth. They don't want us. So I don't know if the papers are chatting wass or we're still going, but maybe that's one we need to leave alone, man. What super chat, bro? Ski? You've had sent hella. I ain't missed a damn one. What one did you send, bro? Oh, these don't know how much I love you, DG. Big up. I appreciate you, Max. You're moving mad this live stream, man. I appreciate the support, my guy. Deluded stories. No. This Vlahovic thing is tired. I don't want him. I want him, but it's a mad thing. Bro, is it even us leaving? Like, G1, is it even us or is it the papers? Because it seems like Vlahovic ain't like, what's going on? Nunes of Benfica, that's a good sign. And he didn't really stand out against us, but he's really developed his general play and he's sourced on Barcelona in the champs, if I remember correctly. The risk/reward on that move, you've got to be successful. Bro, I don't know why man just don't rob a crop, bro. That's probably easier, man. I've been robbed before, so I know how it feels, but life moves on. Bro, life moves on, man. You know, it feels... Well, I ain't been robbed, but it's degrading. I've been... You know how the school team gets in it with the gangbangers coming. Certain man are getting disarmed for their phone, and you're just there. Like, don't watch that, bro, man. Next thing, man. Don't watch that, my guy. It's minor, bro. My man, your friends all there vex. I'm not even trying to talk to them. Like, brother, it's cool, bro. But yeah, you can get all them thing there back, man. You can get all them thing there back. Big up yourself, Ragga. Come on. You lot make this platform for what it is. But we're going off topic. Let's get into all this stuff, man. Osimhen's a shout. Why not? But ain't he got an eye problem? He's got an eye problem. So I don't know when he's going to get back. Ain't he got an eye problem? I could be wrong. Something that's affecting his vision and all them things there. So I don't really know. Let's change that to 80 mil Arsenal offer. Vlahovic, because we just spoke about that. Let's upgrade this as well to 107.10. Broken cheekbone. Fuck, you know. What the fuck happened there? Alex, you dickhead. Hey, I can't even get into the Arsenal thing, man. These look. Hey, this threw me off, man. This threw me off. We go from an eye socket to this. Man said, DG, I feel like the vibes have been very high this week. Is it the new improved back support or maybe a new lady friend? I ain't gonna say anything that could get me in trouble with it, but I mean, lady friends, if you want to be more lady friends, you know, like how Arsenal are open to making new signings, why not? I know we signed Odegaard. It don't mean we don't need more creativity. You know, Al was still welcome to sign in it, but yeah, man. All fun and entertainment, man. I did get a trim. Maybe Alex ain't wrong. All right, true. You know, I feel sexy again. A bit pissed off with the spot and that need to put some toothpaste there. But yeah, Nunes is being linked with Man City, so it's a myth then. It's a myth. It's a myth. New one. I don't need that. We don't need titles. What's all that? Like, girlfriend? Huh? What's all that about? Can't we just enjoy each other's company and that? You lot. Anyways, man. Listen, back to football, innit? Back to football. Shout out to you lot. On a serious note, let's get into Arsenal versus Manchester United, people, where obviously we're going to be here for a minute. Now, obviously, Arsenal, Man United. First things first. It's a big game. It's a big game. I have to say the cliche thing of it. Form goes out the window and all these sort of things, which it does. Me personally, I'm nervous because I think it's neutral ground. I really can't understand. Obviously, the sentiment going into the game. United have been terrible. They're shipping goals. You know, they're not necessarily scoring. They've got a new manager. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a dud. Arsenal haven't been amazing. We did get slapped up against Liverpool, but we've been in better form. So I just think looking at this game, man, I'm talking like Arsenal are up here and United are down there, where really they're in the same territory. There's a lot of the same things Man sit here and say about Man United and their problems apply to Arsenal and vice versa. Fundamentally, neither club is where they want to be. For United, should be in a title challenge. They've made themselves not in that anymore. So it is what it is. I think United with Carrick, I think Carrick is, again, Carrick, I can only go off 2 games. I think one thing that should give United confidence is I don't think we can plan for United. We can watch their previous games and, I do think they can see a lot of cheap goals, but Ollie's gone. You know what? Carrick's been in charge for 2 games. I could be wrong. I don't know what he's on. Again, I'm going to get into the tactical stuff. But if you go on the Chelsea game, if he does the sort of thing he did against Chelsea, then I'm a bit shook. The one against Villarreal, I don't think you can read too much necessarily into it. Obviously, they've got Ralph Rangnick, who's probably said, well, go on to the boys and whatnot. I don't know if he started coaching, but there's a new manager. There's a new lease of life. Sancho is finding form. End of the day, United can't feel sorry for themselves. They're still in every cup. Well, I know they've been knocked out the Nketiah Bell, but they're still in the cups. Champions League is still there. Mathematically, they can still get top 4 and do what they want to do. So, like I was saying with Arsenal, you can either feel sorry for yourself or you get ahead. The one thing I would like us to do is I want to see real positivity. I want to see bravery. I think anytime you've seen a team drop points this season, respectfully excluding Arsenal, it's because the other team have been on the front foot. West Ham against Liverpool, there was obviously elements where you had to sit back and they had to respect Liverpool and stay in their own half. But when the opportunities were there, it was there. I would take a point. Of course, the way United are playing, I would love to go out there and I think we should be trying to get a win. The one thing I want to see is us making it nervous for them. De Gea is a good keeper. This team concede cheap goals. They cannot keep clean sheets. We're not a great defensive team. And I think the same logic should apply to them attacking us. That's a new look and naive defense. Tavares plays. He was great against Newcastle. You saw what happened against Liverpool. Tomiyasu, there's times you can make it uncomfortable for him. Ben White and Gabriel, as great as they've been, they're still learning. The midfield battle is going to be stinky. And I can't lie, I'm not looking forward to it from both teams. Lokonga and Partey up against McTominay and Fred, if that's that, dead. Sprinkle in a Bruno maybe and a Smith Rowe, there's stuff there, but it's dead. So I do think why there is. But like I said, this team failed to keep clean sheets. Apart from De Gea, who in that back line is playing well. If Maguire comes back in, his form's been on the floor. I don't know for sure's form. Wan-Bissaka can't catch a break. I don't know if they start Lindelof and Bailly. I probably would. But again, how many times have they played together really and truly? De Gea is a quality keeper and he's found his form, but he's not invincible, So I want to ask questions. I want to have shots. I will need to see creativity. Saying that, I might be naive because we're not necessarily up there for creativity, for chances created or for goals. So a lot of this might be naiveties. I think both teams need to be switched on from set pieces. I think both teams need to pay attention off the ball. I think that's what will make the difference. United have a better team than us on paper. On current form is probably a bit more positive. I'm a bit nervous. I don't think you can look at form. I would take a point. I can't lie, I think they might do something because I just see in our game, if you look at half of these games, yeah, we might have, even when we've won, it might be all fun and games, but there's little blips where across the 90, we've had a 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 2 minutes where we've done nonsense and we've done questionable things. You can't afford to do that. I think if you look at the game against Chelsea, there's things that United should find positives, especially with the counter-attacking and the high line and things like that. I'm keen to see who they play. I mean, Carrick, again, it's a bit of a free hit. What have you said there? United's attack lacks chemistry, but in stages, in games like us, they turn it on a bit like us. Both teams lack chemistry. Yeah, we look good when Vaca and them man link up, but none of them are doing it consistently, really and truly. Arteta is yet to concede against United. That box stops tomorrow. Are you sure he ain't conceded against United? And I think, come on, you got Ronaldo, so we probably expect to concede. Are you sure he ain't conceded? He has, man. He has. I'm sure Arteta was in charge when we lost in the FA Cup to you lot. I'm sure he has. You might be right. I might be wassing. They have an unbelievable attack, but you have to defend, innit? For both teams. Once it gets past that front line, what can we do? No, he hasn't. Raw. If Watford can beat United, why not Arsenal? I mean, I hear you, but that trail of thought isn't the same. United haven't beaten us in 2 years. Exactly. It has to stop. So again, and Arteta's had a decent record against United at some point. So things need to stop. Again, records and bucks always got to stop. And for me with Arsenal, I want to start fast. I haven't really seen us play well in the big game. Yeah, Spurs give you the credit, but not really happy with Liverpool. Again, I'm not killing us, but not happy with it. Not happy with City. Chelsea, terrible. Now, a lot of these individuals that might play tomorrow didn't play, but it's definitely an even game more so than people say. All right, it was Emre, can't. All right, so I'm wrong then. Arsenal has thrashed us a lot. Don't even know who was the manager them times there. Tavares versus Wan-Bissaka, battle of polar opposite fullbacks. One can't defend, one can't attack. To be honest, Tavares could probably defend more than Wan-Bissaka can attack. He's Wan-Bissaka is probably going to have a blinder. Bailly's their best centre half. They used to say he was better than Van Dijk. Criminal. I mean, to be fair, they said De Gea was the best in the league, Wan-Bissaka best in the league, centre halves best in the league in terms of Bailly and Maguire, Shaw best in the league. So by the United fans' logic, there is some, that's a quality team. It is going to be a tough game. There is an air of unpredictability where Carrick is concerned, and that's what makes me nervous. And like I said, our high line, their counter-attacks, there's issues. Their attacking players, it's self-explanatory, It's a game where people need to stand up to be counted. I genuinely think form goes out the window. United are not going to look like the United they have looked like historically. And again, I don't know how Arsenal are going to react. We don't travel well to Old Trafford well enough. I don't know how the 12th man is going to be there. There's a lot of unanswered questions. I don't even know what the lineup is going to be, people. So there's a lot of interesting debates and things to have, really, really and truly, if I'm honest with you. Again, the sample size of Michael Carrick, I can't read too much into it, but it looks like they're a better pressing team. It looks like they're attacking a bit better. United, you don't lose your quality. They're still one of the best counter-attacking teams in the league and attacking teams if they want to turn it on. These things don't lose you overnight. They're in a bad way at the moment. I think we've got to be positive, have that healthy respect for them. But, that's a team that has shipped goals. That's a team that is low on confidence. That's a team where you've got a chance. Both teams should be fairly confident about it, in my opinion, if I'm completely honest with you. And again, like I said, if you look at the Villarreal thing, there was variations, but it did look like a 4-2-3-1. The game against Chelsea, where I don't think they're going to respect us to the level they respected Chelsea, but I think that's a game where we could hit the like button if you haven't, and obviously make sure you're here for later today, Everton versus Liverpool. Rashford's going to get his goal. Ronaldo's going to score against us. It could go either way. I really don't think people can be looking at form. On the topic of United, make sure you're all here for Thingy as well. United versus Arsenal's watch along tomorrow. But yeah, the game against Chelsea, I don't think they're going to respect us to this level. And obviously formations are a bit different. But again, and I'm not sure on the personnel they're going to go with. But if you look at how they played against, how they lined up initially against Chelsea, like I said, there was little dribs and drabs of things. We got to remember how big that Old Trafford pitch is as well. I think it should give United fans a bit of confidence against us, really. And obviously, I don't know if Saka's going to play as well. Arteta's been a bit coy. We're going to get into that as well, people. We're going to separately. Let me just... If I share my screen. There we have it. So, yeah. That's the back four, obviously. 1 second, people. So then you've got my man. And I would play Matic. I think Matic played better than Fred and McTominay. But again, just going off the Chelsea one, you had the three in midfield. Then obviously you had Bruno. Let me make them a bit higher for you. You obviously had Bruno in his quote-unquote free role. Whether it worked or didn't work, that's for United fans to reach the conclusion. You obviously had Bruno there. And then you obviously had Mr. Jadon Sancho and obviously Rashford. Now, obviously, Arsenal like to play a high line. I don't think United are going to ever at any point in that game be camped in their own half, unless it's a mentality thing where they're feeling sorry for themselves and whatnot. But the counter-attack is what scares me, because if I move everybody back, Rashford and Sancho, obviously, Jorginho, 9 times out of 10, he's not going to make that mistake. But Jorginho, why Jorginho was left as the last man, and he's probably the worst defensive player in the Chelsea teams in terms of mindset for as good as he is, I don't really know. But that press, Jorginho, lacked. It was a high line. He lacked. They got onto it. We play a high line. That is something that scares me, because they've got pace on the count. I don't know who they're going to play. Ronaldo, Rashford, Sancho, whoever in it. But we need to be wary. Ask questions. Wan-Bissaka goes to sleep a lot. Both their fullbacks go to sleep. Tellez is better going forward, much like Tavares, than defensively. People switch off. Their centre halves will not follow runners. If you switched on, they will not follow runners. Bailly and Lindelof, how often have they played together? Maguire gets caught flat-footed. Wan-Bissaka, he either's too narrow, he's too tight, and he doesn't look off the ball. Off the ball movement, United can't cope with it, especially that defense. We need movement in these little pockets. So obviously, there's one man that's a Smith Rowe. We need our left winger. Don't get caught in 1v1s. If we're going to go forward like a Tavares, then you've got to be wary. Like against Newcastle, there was this space. And if you remember correctly, I don't know why I've made our kit black, but Gabriel versus Callum Wilson was something you saw primarily a lot in the first half. This is what should give United confidence, you know, that right-hand side. If Tavares or whoever's going forward, you've got the license. Tomiyasu now, obviously, let's put some centre-halves here as well. Now, I need Tomiyasu because he's going to win balls in the air. But again, he's very narrow. Obviously, you know, let's put this guy up front because we've got an extra defender because that's Tavares. If Tavares is gone and Gabriel's out there, well, forget him out there, and we make ourselves a narrow back three off the ball. This is an invitation to come forward. You know, this space, in the same way, it's an invitation to attack because Tavares has left it. If you're not, and obviously he's going to get forward, but this is an avenue. If I'm United, whoever's on that left, let's just say this is Rashford now, to get forward, and their left back to get forward 2v1s. Then you ask a question of, let's say, Saka, do I get back? And obviously, one thing I don't want to see against United because it's going to help them. I'm not going to lie. Tomiyasu, first half, he didn't go forward too many times. We need that. Listen, this defense is not informed. Their communications problems. We need people. If you see Saka there, take someone with you. There's a decision to make. Does Telles go with you? He's left a half space. That might be an avenue for you to creep into. Movement, and movement for both teams, specifically as an Arsenal fan. Movement is what is going to help us in this game, people. So that's what scares me. We need to go into it and have confidence. In relation to the lineup, I don't know who I'm playing from an Arsenal perspective. A part of me thinks you could go with the 3-4-3, which served us last year. You had Partey and Nene in the middle. Now, naturally, that's probably a game United have probably went over and looked at. But a part of me feels maybe you should go with your 4-2-3, 4-2-3-1, 4-1-4-1, 4-4-2, whatever, really and truly. Me personally, if it was up to me, obviously, picking goalies now, you know, self-explanatory. Aaron Ramsdale's in goal. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory. You know, a lot the back five is self-explanatory up until a certain individual. You know what you've got, Mr. White, and then like I said, if I'm United, I'm asking questions because this is a young and naive defense. Ronaldo is Mr. Experience. You saw, again, you just got to look at the Spurs game to know Ronaldo's experience. You could see, you know, look at Ronaldo's goals. It's like you could see it. You can't really downplay experience. Ronaldo, Ben White, you don't look at him, you know, he's going to make his little Giselle run where he's got that leap. Ronaldo probably is going to score. We're not keeping a clean sheet. So we've probably got to bear that in mind, innit? But yeah, obviously, you've got White. You've got fresh off of fighting people, so maybe Ronaldo stands no chance. Tomiyasu's there. It picks itself for me. Left back, again, let me know. Are you lot going with Tavares or Tierney? On one hand, Tavares is a madman, you know, goes forward, gives us a lot going forward. They're probably not planning for him defensively in terms of, I'm pretty sure Carrick and co probably expect Tierney to play. Me personally, and I don't think he can win. If Tierney plays, we sit here and talk about Tavares. If Tavares plays, we sit here and talk about Tierney. I can't lie to you lot. One love to Tavares. I'm going with the Flying Scotsman, innit? I'm going with Tierney. Midfield now, you've got your midfield pivot, man. You know, Lokonga concentration is vital. You know, you got let you off for the Liverpool game. You do it again, you have to touch bench. I'm going with Partey. I mean, it's not even I'm going self-explanatory, really, innit? Sort of things. For me personally, whenever for me, it's adapting. Smith Rowe, so it picks itself. Tierney ain't played in time. To be fair to you, it's true, but he did have a good Scotland game, and you know he might have the reason. I hear you though. Tavares has the fluidity. He's got the I fucked up against Liverpool. We've got a big game now. The manager gave faith to me. I don't want to get dropped, but you know, I'm starting Kieran Tierney. I want the unpredictability of Tavares. Even United will not be able to plan for him again. Unpredictability could also harm us. Willian had a good game, so did El Nene. It's got to be Ainsley Maitland-Niles at Old Trafford. Has been here before. He has, but you know, I think I'm going with these two. Tierney, but I low-key think Tavares will be problems for Wan-Bissaka. And to be honest with you, that's one thing I don't mind, innit? Because if one thing I would like to see, if it is going to be Tavares, that's not how you spell Tavares, apologies, folks. If it is going to be Tavares, you know, him and Smith Rowe peels out to that left-hand side. Go and start them overloads. I don't really want Smith Rowe out there because I just feel you're inviting them to go forward, you know. But and to be fair, South London's on the right-hand side for United. Go and ask questions. But, you know, we can create overloads. And like I said, it's all about making that defense nervous. You know, they're already nervous, they're already shipping goals, they're already, you know, struggling really by United standards. Go and make that a case. Don't let this be a game they build confidence. You know, if there's overloads, as a right back, I've been there. If you're getting doubled up against, you either say, bloody hell, one of you midfielders help, man, which means United are going to be deeper in the field, deeper in their own half, or you say, hey, Sancho, get your ass back, man, I'm getting countered attacked. And then it's out down to Sancho if he says, all right, cool, let me back it. Where again, they're in their own half, or he says, you know what, suck yourself, Wan-Bissaka, I'm not getting back. Then obviously there's 2v1s, and then obviously you'd probably have other people peeling. So I understand why the Tavares, and I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. So I understand it. But for me, I'm sticking with my gut feeling in it. I went with Tierney. So again, I think that one, it's a good problem to have. And as an Arsenal fan, we've got 3 better left backs than Mr. Gilberto Carlos, in it. Tierney, Tavares. No, I'm shameless with the Tavares one. And wait for the Uno card. Bukayo Saka. But yeah, I'm looking at something along this. Smith Rowe picks himself. Odegaard's got a whole bench, although Odegaard, I do see him starting Odegaard. I'll be real with you. I do see him starting Odegaard. For me, and I know, do you know what? If I'm starting Martinelli and Tavares, I'm not really for it. But this left-hand side, I think it's a bit of an open one. We don't know if Saka's fit. We're going to look at that. We don't know if Saka's fit, you know, which I hope it's a bit of games, but we don't know if Saka's fit. Pardon me, Tavares' recovery ability is understated. It's not understated, but to be fair, if you're always having to recover, are you in the right position? But yeah, you know, I think he goes with Aubameyang out wide and Laka up front personally, and obviously it's that makeshift 4-4-2 thing where obviously, you know, it could be a bunch of formations. I honestly think he's going with Oba and Laka. I don't think he's going to drop Oba, even though there isn't, you know, on form, he can't complain. This is a game for Lacazette, you know. Lacazette last year, one of the best games he's ever had in an Arsenal shirt. It's not going to be in any of his highlights, but there's that. Off the ball, it is that 4-4-2. And I think for me, obviously, I wouldn't mind if it's Tavares. You've got that, you know, you've got that sort of thing. I need Smith Rowe to go inside because, again, both midfields are going to stink up the place. Look, and they got Scott McTominay and obviously Fred. Bro, it's going to stink up the place. Look at the matchups. It's going to, like I said, they might have a Bruno there to sprinkle things up, you know, Bruno, and let's give them a front three so it looks, you lot see what I'm talking about. And we might have our little Smith Rowe, but the midfield's going to be stinky. Like, it's going to be stinking. United, Old Trafford is a massive pitch. And, you know, United have scary options. Are they going to bring in Greenwood? Are they going to go with a 2 up front? Is Ronaldo going to start? Who knows? The only problems I can see with United is the middle half of their team. You know, their front three is amazing, but once you get past that, these are the reasons these men fuck up. You know, with the exception of De Gea, these defenders and these midfielders are the reasons that these guys are doing bullshit. Yeah, attackers might not, their form might be poor, but it is what it is. For me, I see him starting Aubameyang. I genuinely see Aubameyang starting. I genuinely see that. I genuinely see that, people. If it's up to me, I don't necessarily want to drop Aubameyang. I'm not going to cap to you. I think it's time to try one of them, man. There, I don't want to see. I think he might just, you know, Smith Rowe might get put in, you know, and then he goes with obviously Smith, and then he brings Odegaard into it. And he does that. I think he's going to do that. I don't think you're going to see Pepe, Martinelli or that. I think it's either Smith Rowe or Aubameyang for that left-hand side. I don't even know if he'll start Lacazette, but I think Lacazette should start for this game. And to be fair, you might see Aubameyang make himself a hero if that is the case, people. You know, for Aubameyang, if he starts out, you know, I'm going to back my captain. You know, I don't know if Greenwood's going to start. I don't know. I don't want him to because Greenwood's a madman. For me, he's their best attacker. Obviously, Cristiano is, but Greenwood's a bad boy. I think Greenwood's the most scary. I think he's better than Rashford. I don't think Rashford could do anything that's better than Greenwood. Maybe score more goals, but that ain't going to last too long. I think he's better than Martial. You know, Martial's wavy, but I think he's better than him. Ronaldo's Ronaldo, but yeah, if I was a United fan, that would be my thing. So yeah, this would probably be, well, this is what I think Arteta is going to go with, man. But it's all about the performance, man. You messed up against Liverpool. You messed up away from home at the Etihad. You disgraced yourself against Chelsea. Fair enough, you beat Spurs. It's a bit of a discount because as poor as Spurs still are, if you box Spurs under Conte, that's a different one. I need to see a perfect 90 minutes. There's going to be times we're under the cosh. There's going to be times United are under the cosh. It's stupid, but it's going to come down to who takes their chances and focus. As I said, because of their poor form and they're just calamitous errors, we should fancy that back five, excluding De Gea. they should fancy our defense, even though we're in better health. Gabriel and Ben White are still going to learn tough lessons, as you saw against Liverpool. Tomiyasu the same, Tierney or Tavares the same. There's lessons. They're not perfect. So both teams should be confident about the midfield battle. I really think it's an even contest, regardless of how United or Arsenal fans feel about the sentiment of the form. I know our form is healthier than United's, but my feet are on the floor because I'm still where I was last season with Arsenal, and I think I've maintained that. So I'm not really for this euphoria of what's going on. I think it's a way more even game, and I think sentiments in football are very dangerous, and sentiments can change a lot very quickly. You know, look how quickly it's changed. United have gone from winning the league, Arsenal getting relegated, and look where both teams are at. So again, and as for me with Arsenal, it's a tough run of fixtures now. You've got United, you've got West Ham United. You know, you've got teams that are fighting in and among Everton next Monday again. Forget Everton's form again. These are tough games where people need to stand up to be counted. So in relation to that, I'm not too sure what we're going with, people. Make sure you're hitting the like button if you haven't done such already. So yeah, that's, you know, I keep forgetting what I'm even going to name this, people. Yeah, that's that, you know, in terms of my Man United preview. Let's get into what Mikel Arteta has specifically had to say about this game. One love to you lot. Make sure you're hitting the like button, people, and them things there. Make sure you set your reminders on Twitch. I'm going to have Flawless. And again, we're going to talk Arsenal, Man United. Obama just stinks. My man needs a bath. Arteta said he's not risking Saka. I don't like Smith Rowe and Odegaard in the same team. It's either one or the other for me. There are times I like it. I just think this isn't a game for that. We won there last season. We did, but historically, how many times have we won at Man United in the last few years? It hasn't been a ground that we've had much joy. We've won in the cups, in the league, should I say specifically. We ain't done much, even when United have been poor, to be brutally honest with you. Away from that, though, let's see what the press conference has had to say. No doubt Mikel Arteta has had to speak on Gabriel, had to speak potentially on Bukayo Saka and the rest of it. What time am I on Twitch? 5:30, broski. 5:30 UK time for anyone that's not in the UK. Obviously, adjust your clocks. You know, adjust your clocks. So away from all of that, let's get into the press conference. Just before that, though, folks, Shameless FC. Make sure you're supporting the thing. It don't cost nothing to hit the like button, even if you're not gonna be there. And obviously, likewise, it also doesn't cost a thing to make sure you're supporting this thing as well. So yeah, people, make sure you're hitting those like buttons and supporting the thing. I appreciate that. Big up the 4 of you who've hit that like button as well already. What's all of this? One of my videos is premiering. Fair enough. And I should, you know, Statman Baines and Aaron's one. After this, I'm literally going to schedule it and it'll be out. So yeah, but getting into the Arsenal business again. Press conference. Where's the full transcript, man? We need to do a November review as well. And let me see if I can whack that out for tomorrow. Where's the full transcript, man? I don't know. Anything we miss out, we'll just click stuff. I don't think this is the full transcript, people, but maybe the edit is taking long. But as you lot know, Arteta's had his press conference. Let's see what he said. On team news, Granit is still not ready. Kolasinac is still not ready. We have a doubt with Bukayo and another few knocks we got against Newcastle. So today is the day to assess how everyone is and if they'll be fit for tomorrow and then make a decision on the squad. On Saka, I'm hopeful, but we don't know. Obviously, it's a really short turnaround and the player has had to be comfortable playing with a little injury. So let's see how he is in training. On the robbery involving Gabriel, obviously, it's not a nice thing to go through when you have a family involved and they're trying to access your house. Gabriel showed a lot of character. You see the reaction he had straight away. Credit to the boy. After that, he was fine. Obviously, he was shocked. There are a few things he wanted to change in his life to try and prevent those things happening. And the club gave him all the support that was needed to try to forget about the situation, learn from it and move on. So, yeah, fair play. On how difficult it is to prepare to face Man United with all the changes there. You know what to expect when you go to that stadium and play in front of that crowd. They are a team, a squad that is one of the most talented in the league, true. You know the situation you're going to face is very difficult tactically because you don't know how they're going to prepare the game, true. The options they can play, the formation they can have. So it's more focused on ourselves, what we have to do and make sure the team is prepared to go there and beat them. On Ralph Rangnick, we know he's a great player, great manager, and done a lot in the game, so I'm not going to read that. on his record against Man United, and this should be something United want to put right. The confidence that we have to prepare the matches to win, and we first of all have to respect the opponent, and we will have in front of us. But with the end goal, the mindset, the confidence, and desire to win the game and have that belief straight away. Let's see that in the game, especially if there's any setbacks. On whether he expects United to line up similar to how they did against Chelsea, I don't know. Obviously, they are different games. You are playing Chelsea away. You have phases in the game. I don't think they were that defensive for the whole game. Sometimes you want to do something against Chelsea with their ability, and you cannot do it because of the quality they have and the solutions they can find to every problem you try to create. I expect a very lively atmosphere and a team that wants to come out. And obviously said, I don't know, that's the manager's decision in relation to Ronaldo. On Aubameyang's position, well, the form of Oba is always going to be related to the goals that he scored. Where are they? He does many other things apart from scoring goals, true, but obviously we need that contribution because goals are critical for our success. That's been shown in the last few years. We've been able to do that, and it has to be his aim to continue to do all the things that he's doing, and then in the right moments, put the ball in the back of the net. On if the club has an out-and-out number 9, I think with Laka it's a bit different. I think Laka is more comfortable playing there. Oba has played in both positions throughout his career. I think the formation that we play allows him more freedom to attack certain spaces more often, and defensive duty changes a lot from one position or the other. And that's something to consider depending on the players that play alongside him. On Tierney and Tavares, that's the level we want to achieve, that in every position we have players that can perform at the highest level and can complement each other by giving you different qualities as well. Last year, when we had an issue with Tierney, when he was out for a while, we had to invent and play players in that position. That's obviously something we want to eradicate as much as possible. And that's why we made the decision that we made in the summer to try to fill the gaps that we have and make this team stronger. It's only about that. Kieran hasn't played in a lot of games because he was still injured, and in others because once Nuno played and played very well, I think he deserved the chance to continue playing. On the surprise around Man United's issues, well, it shows the competition and the league that we are involved in, that any team can cause a problem, that it's not as simple as putting names and numbers in there. It's much more than that. Undoubtedly, the quality that they have, and you haven't mentioned the other 3 or 4 of them that can play in that position, it's incredible, and it's why the club has been successful as well. On if the one thing missing so far is an away win against the top 6, true. Well, it is because we lost against Man City. We lost against Liverpool. It's true that we beat Leicester. We have been one of the teams in that range in recent years. But obviously, that's what we want, to go to any ground and have confidence to go up there against the top teams and beat them. On replication in last season's win against Man United, absolutely, that's what we have to try and do. It's not about winning once. I think when we won last year, Arsenal hadn't won there for 17 years. So obviously that cannot happen if we want to be at the highest level. On Mertesacker, speaking about Rangnick, big up Mertesacker and all of them things there. But Ralph Rangnick is not relation to this Arsenal-related live stream, and I've spoken a lot about Rangnick and things like that. It's all mad, people. On Bukayo Saka, well, we're not going to risk our players if we believe they can obviously go against us. With an injury means that he may have to leave the pitch, and when someone has to leave the pitch, I believe that he's injured. Even though he's willing to continue, that injury can be 24 hours, 72 hours, or a year. Bukayo is really willing. He's been preparing for the last 2 days because he wants to play. Let's see how he is. Well, reality is, as much as I would be a bit of blow to not see Saka start, reality is we have a squad in it. You know, Pepe, Martinelli, whether you're going to go Aubameyang, Lacazette and bring in Odegaard, whatever you're going to do, players need to step up in it. You know, I don't like to sit here when Arsenal haven't got 3 points or whatever. And it's always the guys that are not involved or haven't started that are the messiahs and whatnot. On Martinelli's game time, it's part of the pathway. I understand we want to play all the players, but we can only play 11 of them. We have a young team and we have to find the right pathway with the right timing within the pathway, because it can look in a different way, in a different way. And I think it's very clear what we want to do with Gabby. Is it? His determination is absolutely top, and he'll continue to do that. He has the capacity to start games, no doubt about that. Said everything and nothing at the same time. On Tierney starting on the bench, it was a tricky one after what happened at Anfield and some individual errors that we had. We have to be careful with the message that we send to our players. I want to encourage my players to play with courage, to take risks, to make decisions, and to be on the front foot. And when they do that, if for any reason things don't go our way or someone makes a mistake, that's when you have to show trust in a player, because you want to build confidence and resilience, which is true, especially around the young players. Fact, it's not only for the players that's playing, it's also for the players that's not playing to understand that part of that decision is to support. And in their case, if it happens to them, I will do exactly the same thing. It's something that we have to build, and with young people, players, even more, because if not, they get very confused. I have full confidence in him. on heading into the transfer window in a good position. I trust in the players that we have. You trust in all the midfielders or the lack of them and try to make them as good as possible. I mean, we're not going to get much of a tune if we're looking to make any players here number 8s and try to make them improve the team and try to be more and more consistent. If we play better, we'll get for better results. That's it. True. Maybe if we start to create the same logic, if we start creating chances, we might score chances. I don't know. On what the fans can expect in January, we are in discussion. We have talks every week about it, what we can improve, how we can improve the team, what things can happen in the January transfer window that can affect our squad. As you know, we have certain players with a little bit of uncertainty in the summer, so we have to plan what's going to happen now and what's going to happen in the summer. Lacazette, Eddie Nketiah, Kolasinac, these sort of ilks. What has to be done? We know we don't expect big things to be happening, but we need to be very alert in the market to see if we can improve the team. We have to be prepared because things can happen and injuries can arise in this period of the season, and you have to be prepared and planned. No shit. I think that's, let me see. Is there anything else? Spurs versus Tottenham tickets, when are they out? I might try to bag one. 26 quid. All right. So that's quite a small press conference. I think he said everything there, innit? We're in discussions internally, blah blah blah. So yeah, I don't think he's not said anything there. I think that's his press conference, people. Like, he's literally, he's told us everything. So in relation to Saka's injury, we don't quite know where it is, but yeah, he has to set up, man. Saka defo has a game time clause now. Man said it's clear what we want to do with Gabby. When you know, let me find out. Play him before you ruin his determination that you're so fond of. It's clear that Gabby has Arteta's news. That's why he's holding bench. Toilet bowl is cheap. Arteta chatting BS, hate these press conferences. As Ainsley Maitland now said, come on, people. Only 17 likes to 200. Let's go. Juke the like button. Come on. Saka must not be forced onto the Arsenal team. Give him time for his injuries to heal properly. Trust. After Arsenal, our run of games is tasty, so it's even more important that one of us win. Probably. The games ain't getting easier for anyone. We all know Arteta is going to put Saka on the pitch even if he's in a cast. Raw. True. DG, would you take 5 points from West Ham United and Everton? I mean, if we get it, it's not acceptable, really. 5 points is needy. Out of the two teams there, such is life. It'd probably be the team we lose to, but you should be taking full point. I know United's form is terrible as well, but I will take 2 points from. I'd say, well, you know what, 5 points. When you put it like that, you've done the maths in it. It's not acceptable, but I could live with it. I could live with a draw against the Hammers, a draw against United, and 3 points against Everton. Ideally, you would like 2 wins. It would do a lot for the fans, but yeah, man, I would. It's something to live with, innit? It's something to live with. Oh, it's just saying fancy words for Martinelli. It's good. He's still going to hold him bench. We have a plan. Martinelli. And transfers. Crazy stuff, man. Thoughts on Renato Sanchez? Would you take him? Yeah, but it's a bit of a myth. Hope Gabby is all right for Thursday. If not, it's understandable. Health and well-being comes first. Allegedly, this whole Robin stuff happened in August, so I don't want to say it's nothing to worry about, but it's quote-unquote nothing to worry about sort of thing. Big up DG. Keep up the amazing content. Always on point, one of the realists. I appreciate that, Marcus. Morning to yourself, Noah, as well. Hope everyone's doing well and safe, man. All these coaches using my beautiful baby boy Saka like he's in roots. My God, I should start reading comments before they come up, man. You can't say that, fella. Like, hey, we're 5 short of 200 people. If you haven't hit the like button, make sure you do. Once again, shameless plug. Make sure you're here at 5:30. Well, I say here on Twitch. I'm going to be with Flawless. Once again, set your reminders. Tomorrow it's Man United versus Arsenal. So it only made sense to have a watch along, people. Make sure you're all there. Away from that, today it's Everton versus Liverpool. So make sure you've hit your like button for that. We must be able to get 10 likes, man. Big up the 4 of you, 5 including myself, who have hit the like button there. So yeah, man, support the team. Put tabs in midfield. No one will know what's no. I hear it. Yeah, I spoke on that Patrizzi thing. It's a bit mad, but he's gonna bust case, man. He's gonna bust case. I don't think Patino should go on loan right now, if that's what you're asking. But on that note, though, people, it's lunchtime. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'm gonna hit gym quickly, and then I'm gonna come back and give you lot hell load of content, people. We've got Everton and Liverpool. We've got Flawless at 5:30, and then I believe at 7:45, I'm obviously Everton Liverpool. So yeah, people. And there's a next video that's gone live. You know, my next Man United Arsenal preview will go live. I'm gonna cut up some of this live stream to go live as well, people. So make sure you know you've got your notification bells, you're checking and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah, man. I'm going to get out of here, though. So please make sure you hit the like button. First things first, it's appreciative having you lot all here. Again, you know, I'm seeing United fans of, fans that have nothing to do with Arsenal, United, Arsenal fans, fans from all over the world. I appreciate you lot who support this time and time again. Or there'd be no point of sitting here for an hour and a half, hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, man. No, thank you lot for supporting the thing. So yeah, obviously, as I always say, we're about goals and aspirations and these things there. It's the halfway point. Whatever goals, hopes, aspirations you lot got, go and make sure you're attacking the day and the week aggressively. I'll meet you lot again, people. Again, most importantly, in fact, as I always say, stay safe, in it, good health and them things there. Gonna love and leave you lot, though, man. Hit the like button. Peace.
Always just that active red flag, defending.
I think it's like